Welcome back, viewers. Today at Pointer's Rest, I'm going to show you how to operate a zero-turn ride-on mower. Stay tuned. Yep, she's working. Thanks for joining me again, folks. I do apologise for the length of time between videos. It has been very busy here at Pointer's Rest. We've done a heap of renovations to the inside of the house. Abby's just come to say hello. And we've been doing a heap of mowing and other maintenance type projects around here, and I just haven't had a chance to get the camera out. So on the topic of doing mowing and other maintenance, I thought, well, what a great time to do a video on the use of a ride-on mower. So if you are planning on moving to the country, then this is probably something you're going to want to invest in, especially if you have lots of land. So what we'll do is I'll show you the basic controls of this mower. I'll discuss very briefly the differences between a zero-turn and a traditional ride-on mower, and then I'll just give a quick example of how to ride the thing. So let's get stuck into it. Alrighty, so here is the zero-turn ride-on mower. This particular brand is a John Deere. As I said at the start of the video, the grass here has been out of control lately. It's been a very unusual spring and summer. We're now almost 3 weeks into the summer, and we've had a lot of rain, which is unusual, and pair that with a few days of sunshine in between the rain, and the grass is just growing out of control. So I'm on this thing probably once a week, mowing all this, and there's a lot more grass around the corner there. So if you're living in the country, then it makes sense to invest in one of these. All right, so what's a zero-turn mower? Well, basically a zero-turn mower will turn very, very tightly. So unlike a traditional mower that uses a steering wheel, this one you use the levers, and I'll give you an example of how they operate in a little bit. And it will basically turn on a dime, this thing. So very, very handy for maneuvering around tight spaces and around trees and poles, etc. And also I like the fact that it sits down a lot lower, so you've got a lower center of gravity, which is very useful for when you're mowing around trees with low hanging branches, and you can sort of get right under there and mow very closely to the trunk of the tree. So that is why I personally prefer a zero turn for large blocks of land. Other people have their other preferences, and that's fine. So as we can see with the mower, we've got the engine mounted on the rear, which is connected directly to the rear axle and the rear wheels, which is what drives the mower. It uses, from what I understand, what's called a hydrostatic gear. I won't attempt to explain what that is. You can YouTube that, and I'm sure someone who's a lot smarter than me can explain what a hydrostatic gear is. Fuel goes in the left side here. We've got the deck here, which has got your blades. This has got twin blades, and this particular one is a 42-inch cutting deck. So it's nice and large. You can go up to a 48 in this particular brand, but I have the 42, so that will do. Operating the mower is very simple, although you do have to obviously take your obvious safety precautions. The first one is to keep hands and feet well away from the deck or the blades when you are mowing. So this particular mower, and from what my understanding is, most of them will have this device. As soon as you hop off the seat, so if you hop off the seat, there's like an interlock device under there, and it will sense that you've gotten off, and if the blades are running or the handbrake is not on, then it will shut down. And I'll give an example of that a little bit later. So it wants you to switch the blades off, pull the handbrake on before you leave the seat. Fairly obvious safety precaution. Sitting in the driver's seat, down here to my right, the key which turns it on. To start it, if it's a cold start, we'll put the choke on. Then after a few seconds, we'll pull it back to the main throttle here, which you've got the hare for high speed and the turtle for low speed. When you're mowing, you'll have it on high speed. Fairly simple. This switch here is the mower that activates the blade, so it's called the Mower PTO. Pulling it up will turn the blades on, pushing it down will turn the blades off. So if you try and hop out of the seat with that in the up position, the mower will shut down. So it needs to be pushed in. And down here I have the handbrake. That's in the on position, that's in the off position. In order to start the mower, it needs to be in the on position. Driving and steering the mower, you have these two handles. You basically bring them in. Sorry, I can only do this one hand at the moment because I'm holding the camera. You bring them in and you will have one hand on each side. To go forward, you simply push forward. To go in reverse, you simply bring it back to the reverse. To steer is a combination of pushing and pulling the levers, and that will turn the rear axle or the rear hydrostatic gear. So what I also love about these zero turn mowers is you don't need to stop and then move our gear selector into reverse or into forward as you do with the more traditional rider mowers. This one you can just keep moving, saves a lot of time if you can just go straight from forward to reverse, turn around. It's great for that. So fairly simple, that's a fairly quick rundown. Oh, the chute on the side here, I've got this one lifted up at the moment. It's great for getting into tight spots. Also getting around trees and stuff. I've just noticed we've got a little friend here. Hello, mate. Great for getting around tight spots and also parking it in the shed. If I don't want to flick up stones or whatever, I will lower that down just by loosening the knot on my little makeshift rope here. Alright, so I will now just give a quick example of using the mower. I'll show how the forward and reverse works. I won't speak during it because it's loud and you won't be able to hear me, so here we go. Handbrake's off, that's why it's shut down. One thing I forgot to mention very briefly is your blades are adjustable. Using this lever here, the blade cutting height can be raised or lowered. So it's as simple as just loosening it by lifting it up slightly, and then you can move it down. And there's a little, like a locking lever here that will lock it into the appropriate height that you want to cut your grass. So if I'm just driving it around from one location to the next, as a habit I always put it up on the high setting, just so I don't risk scraping the bottom of the deck and damaging it. Well, there we go. That brings us to the end of the video. Just a very quick one today on how to operate the zero turn mower. As I said, my preference is the zero turn over the more traditional ride-on mower with the steering wheel. I guess the downside though of the zero turn over the more traditional ride-on is that they are quite a bit more expensive. So if you're in the market for a ride-on mower, you just need to work out what your budget is and try and purchase the best piece of equipment within your budget, and also take in mind the size of your property and what you've got on it and what you need to be mowing around. So a few things to take into consideration there. Alright, so thanks folks. If I don't put out another video before Christmas, I hope everyone has a safe Christmas, and I will see you soon. Take care.